Whether you were a fan of Roman Reigns or not, or you at least have a soul, wrestling fans were no doubt shocked and upset when they were made aware that Reigns had been battling leukemia for 11 years and announced that whilst the cancer was in remission during his career in WWE, it had unfortunately returned. Ultimately, the big dog was forced to relinquish the Universal Championship he had won at SummerSlam and was ordered to step away from the thing he loved the most, wrestling. Reigns addressed the WWE Universe and had an emotional moment with both his Shield comrades. We all hoped at that moment it was more like "see you later" rather than goodbye. After 4 long months without him being present in WWE, Reigns finally returned to address the WWE Universe of his current health. Reigns came out to an enormous pop from the crowd as he opened the show. He told of how he missed us all and the overwhelming support he received during this tumultuous time. Commendably, Reigns wants to use this huge WWE platform to raise awareness of leukemia and support those who have been affected by the illness. He then followed by telling us an update on his health, and the whole WWE Universe gave a sigh of relief and a huge cheer when he announced he is in remission and that he is back. We at Wrestlelamia couldn't be more thrilled with the news and to see him back in the ring healthy. Unfortunately though, there are a few upsetting truths to his return on Raw. Number 1. He will be booed again soon enough. Roman Reigns has been one of the most polarizing wrestlers in WWE history. Despite backlash from the fans, Vince sees Reigns as the chosen one, placing him in pay-per-view main events and putting him over a number of superstars who deserve the spot. Many fans weren't invested into Reigns because of his limitations in the ring and his character coming off as cheesy and uninteresting at times with scripted promos. Unless the WWE hands him the baton and lets him move away from scripted and unimaginative promos, there could be a better chance for him to legitimately get on the side of fans for the foreseeable future. The promo he gave on last night's Raw felt genuine, and instead of seeing the big dog in the ring, we saw the real Joe Anoa'i. But we have a feeling though after this, WWE will slip right back where it did before Reigns made his announcement and creep back into the main event with the same tiresome matches. Sadly, this could mean that fans will also revert back to hurling boos at him in the ring once he's back in the main event picture and the championship is placed back onto his shoulders after a few months. Number 2. To boost ratings. It's been no secret that 2018 was an abysmal year for WWE viewership, and Roman Reigns was part of the problem, as his continuous presence in the main event resulted in a number of WWE fans tuning out. WWE would experience all-time lows for both Raw and SmackDown, and viewership dropped so dramatically that WWE had no other choice but to address the situation just before the Christmas holidays. They boldly announced that they will be ushering in a new era, where they finally listen to fans instead of constantly ignoring them. Ratings bounced back following the Royal Rumble, but they aren't consistent. Now we're only a few weeks away from the biggest wrestling show of the year, and WWE haven't got the numbers they usually get during this time. So in order to get viewership back to where they want, Vince McMahon is trying to do everything he can to boost ratings to a healthier level. WWE announcing that Reigns was returning several days before was to ensure that many tuned in to see what update Roman Reigns was going to give and hopefully boost WWE's ratings at the same time. Granted, we wouldn't have gotten the same reaction if Reigns announced it casually on Twitter, but it was reported that Vince was pushing for a return with one goal in mind: to get viewers back. And number 3, another Shield reunion. After Roman Reigns gave his announcement, he was joined by a delighted Seth Rollins. However, Dean Ambrose remained backstage. It was later revealed by Fightful.com's Sean Ross Sapp that it was Ambrose's decision not to be present, but even though he wasn't present on the stage, he was seen to be very emotional backstage. The decision would ultimately play into the storyline, as later on in the night, Dean Ambrose faced off against Drew McIntyre in a no disqualification match. After being defeated by the Scottish psychopath with a Claymore kick, Baron Corbin, Elias and Bobby Lashley came down to the ring, giving Ambrose a post-match beatdown. Seth Rollins came to the rescue, and it was followed by Roman Reigns delivering a Superman punch to Lashley and McIntyre, whilst Rollins laid out Elias with a steel chair. Reigns then delivered a devastating spear to McIntyre as the two stood tall. Their save seemingly planted the seeds for reuniting the Shield again, which will now make it the third time they could reunite. This seems a bit silly, as the reunion would make the last 3 months of storyline building between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose totally pointless. But this is WWE after all, who have more plot holes than Swiss cheese. What do you guys think of a Shield reunion? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.